Welcome to WorkSpan TV. I'm Lenny Sanacolo with World at Work. Today, we will be discussing the future of the employee benefits professional. With me in the studio is Kathy McGrath from the Hershey Company and Karen Macke from the Hartford. In prior World at Work research, it was reported that business acumen was very important for the career advancement of total rewards practitioners. Business acumen means different things to different people. What does it mean to each of your organizations, and why is it important? Kathy, let's begin with you.
Thanks, Lenny. I think business acumen means understanding the metrics of the business, understanding what products you sell, and how you make money. I think that's the basic elements. But for the benefits practitioner, I think you need to go a step beyond. And for those like myself that work in a public company, one of the best resources that's available is the proxy. Read the proxy. That's always been my advice to everyone on the staff, to understand what exactly your business does. You'd be amazed at how much information is in there. So understand the basic metrics that any rewards professional would understand: return on investment, EPS, how much your benefit costs are percent of payroll, how much they cost the company. But I think where you need to really differentiate yourself is go that next step beyond and understand the insights that those metrics give you. So for example, understand the aging of your population and how that might have an impact on the benefits that you offer and the costs that you have to contain.
Karen, what are your thoughts?
Employees, when you communicate to them, they want to know how your benefit strategy ties to your reward strategy, to the HR strategy, to the business strategy, and so it all needs to fit together. And I think employees really want to feel that integration and that thoughtfulness of the programs, the benefit programs, all the way to the business strategy.
Now, in addition to business acumen, and compared to other total rewards practitioners and the skill sets they need, is there any unique skill set needed for the benefits specialist? Karen?
Oh, I think absolutely. I think the benefits specialist is really working with, they have to have incredible technical knowledge and current technical knowledge. The laws regarding benefits are changing constantly, so that legal knowledge, imperative. But they also have to have financial understanding and understanding about how the programs that they are managing and have in place, how they affect the balance sheet, how they affect the cost of the company. And then they also have to have, again, this legal knowledge, as well as what do employees care about. All of that, they have to be able to have that broad package of skill sets and be able to translate that knowledge into programs that are going to work for the population.
Kathy, your thoughts?
The benefits professional and total rewards professionals in general have a little bit of a tougher hurdle when it comes to looking at their career ladder. Sometimes that they can get pigeonholed into a unique specialty and they can't get out. So in terms of what Karen was saying, I think you really need to understand how to prepare yourself with that technical knowledge. People have been individual contributors. And one of the best pieces of advice that I got probably midway through my career when I was about to become a director was I was at a fiduciary committee meeting and I came armed with all my technical information and I had it all down pat, and the CFO said, Kathy, we know that you know your stuff. That's not why you're here. You wouldn't have gotten as far as you did. What I really need you to do is to explain it in layman's terms and be brief. Be brief and to the point and just move on. You don't have to give us all the information that came along with it. So I think that's the unique skill set that the benefits professional has to make that transition and that leap from single contributor to then in terms of interacting with others that aren't exactly wowed with their technical information and really just keep it relevant.
So will the role of the benefits practitioner be different 5 years from now?
I would say yes, absolutely, it's going to be different. I think that what we've been talking about this ability to take this detailed information, translate it into a high-level, compelling case, is going to be even more necessary in the future. Also the cost implications of our benefit programs and the legal considerations are going to be very challenging. Anybody who's oh, we have these great programs in place and isn't willing to be flexible and morph to a different type program to either make it more simple, more cost effective, higher service, all of those things will come into the picture in the future, and I think our profession needs to be ready.
Absolutely, and I think another aspect that we're just learning to deal with is social media. Very new, and how do you control it? How do you make sure that the information is relevant? And what most of us grew up on in terms of the traditional summary plan descriptions, having things in writing, in terms of reading the brochures, all different now, from HR portals to Twitter to Facebook, and I think that you really have to keep abreast of different learning methods for employees as well.
Obviously, both of you are in senior leadership positions at your organizations. What one piece of advice would you give to aspiring folks that wish to aspire to a position like yourselves?
Well, the one piece of advice I would have is actually probably a couple pieces, but I would say really know what the other guy does. That is really what management wants to know in terms of how much does your program cost? Well, how much does your competitor cost? So be able to speak about not only your company, but others in like industries, and do that from a networking standpoint. World at Work is a great organization, a lot of tools to do that. Conferences that are held every year are a great way just to sit down and socialize with people and glean as many insights and information as you can, because I think that's the question I get asked the most at the senior leader level is, well, tell me what our competition is doing. Tell me, you know, we want to be mainstream but different at the same time. Be prepared to answer that. The other thing I would say is just be passionate about anything you do. A career is much like a baby, they say. You have to grow it, you have to nurture it. So your career has to follow that same path, and just be passionate and let that passion show every day.
I think I would just add to that and say, you know, in our fields, it's easy to be siloed and have your one expertise. You have thoughts, though, about other areas, and you can see other areas in HR or in your business where you have really strong, important opinions. Don't hesitate to get out of the benefit and comp expertise and voice other opinions. Get on projects outside of comp and benefits so people can see that you're broader than that. Because as you go up in the organization, you don't, to your point, Kathy, want to get labeled as a technical expert who can only do technical things. So I would encourage you, broaden, know your subject matter, know the ins and outs of what you're talking about, what the marketplace is doing with respect to comp or benefits, but also you've got opinions, you've got knowledge about other operations in the business or in HR, and be sure to share those with others as well so they can see you as a broader leader and not a subject matter expert.
Great. Well, thank you, Kathy, and thank you, Karen. I really do appreciate you sharing your time and expertise with our audience. For WorkSpan TV, this is Lenny Sanacola.